Hi, Jake. What would you like to talk about today? Okay.
Hi, I'd like to talk about maybe what we spoke about before with the struggle of whether or not higher education is worth it in order to progress in your field. Is if it's not only worth it financially, but also mentally in terms of the amount of stress and time you'll have to dedicate to it.
So you're interested in higher education?
Yeah, like we spoke about before, I was in my bachelor's or finishing up my bachelor's of computer science, and then it rolled into a master's degree of computer science, and it's a combined program. But I already work as a infrastructure engineer in the computer science field, and I'll likely be able to keep moving upwards in the field without the master's degree. But it's a very short amount of time I'll have to dedicate to get it, and so and by short amount of time I mean 12 extra credit hours, which is actually quite a bit in terms of finishing it while working full time.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question is whether getting that added level of specialization is worth it.
So you're interested in an extra level of specialization?
Well, the master's degree in itself is an extra level of specialization. Right.
It's okay.
Dang it.
That's okay. So,
Do to keep going?
yeah. So let me just rephrase what you just said,
Hmm.
just so I understand the situation completely, and I don't want to misinterpret anything. So my understanding of your problem is that you're interested in pursuing a master's degree, but that it does sacrifice time and it's difficult to do while you're working full time as an infrastructure engineer. Did I miss anything or leave anything out there?
No, and I guess the only other part is having a master's degree in a science field worth it in the enterprise field? Is it better to just focus on moving up in your career rather than pursuing higher education? Because the master's of science isn't particularly applicable outside of like research areas, and so it's a whole other load of issues there.
And you're um, not sure if you're interested in research areas?
Well, I am somewhat, but they make you more and more specialized, and so it really comes down to where you want to move in the field. And so like my specialization would be in evolutionary algorithms, but it's a very niche area within the field of computer science. And so I somewhat constrain myself, whereas if I were to just let myself move wherever is, the next position upwards, I might have more mobility in terms of focusing on my career.
Hmm. So you seemed a little bit distracted when you said that last little bit about not being sure about focusing on your career. Is there anything else there that you'd like to flesh out a little bit more or spend more time talking about?
Um, I'm not sure. I just mean like more. I guess there's a whole other load of issues where how much time should you spend focused on your career, and how much time should you spend focused on things on other parts of your life outside of your career. Family, friends, life goals, where you want to be, and all that, and also even education's in there as well, and so it's a hard balance to find.
And you're looking to find more of a balance?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty chaotic right now with the master's degree and working full time, and so I think I do need more of a balance. But being near the finish line, it's hard to walk away from it's hard to walk away or lengthen the timeline right now for the master's degree, and so It's a bit of a tough area.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you if, just out of curiosity, could you explain how it feels communicating with someone like me because I'm different through having my degree plan kind of flushed out and then hopefully having a career path from there? Does that feel different to you, or is there anything there that you'd like to discuss?
Like, you mean having your degree entirely completed before moving into focusing on your career?
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it certainly changes things once you're already working in the field that you are studying in because you're standing on somewhat more solid ground. If I were to stop right now and have no degree whatsoever, I would still likely be fine. Um, and so I mean it's a little bit more solid ground once you're already working, but other than that, I mean it's still somewhat the same. You know, we can all picture pursuing higher education and the mental and physical tolls it takes on people and the amount of time it eats out of your life, and we
definitely.
pay in many more than one ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, really, thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. I hope it helped in some way.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for talking to me as well.
Absolutely.